You're in charge. I don't know.
What was that? Yeah, official, right.
I feel like I'm the victim.
So we have, and Lauren is now official member. You probably will.
Move to adjourn. After that, anybody's right. I mean, it's a drawing line somewhere, but.
Now, this is this meeting, any other meeting? Usually our business meeting is the third Tuesday. We move the business meeting to the second Tuesday, meeting tonight, as we begin our business meeting with the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, thank you for that. And we have some folks I know who wanted to speak. That would be
Michael Freeman Pinkham.
Yes.
I took the gum out of my mouth, teacher.
You didn't put it under your chair, I know.
Yeah, right. Hi, my name is Michael Freeman Jeremy Paycup. I'm a former public TV producer in Woodstock, New York, currently a news writer for Free the Press News. I just want to say very briefly at this town board meeting that I'm the news reporter who reported on, quote-unquote, Iran-Contra scandal and Woodstock connections. I reported on Bushgate oil, Iraq, and on the development of Woodstock, New York post office in 1999, and a follow-up news story to who actually was behind the tragic 1963 hit on popular U.S. President Democrat John Fitzgerald Kennedy. It is true and factual that the Federal Bureau of Investigation was contacted and alerted of the crime family associated Ricochet Woodstock, New York gang and their attempts to frame up and or injure and or kill U.S. newsman Michael Freeman Paycup, unearthing levels of serious corruption and crime in New York. In an obvious cover-up, here is related information. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak tonight.
Randy Steele.
As reported in the Daily Freeman Saturday, this last Friday night right here on Tinker Street in Woodstock, the Ulster Regional Gang and Narcotics Task Force, a gang of jackbooted thugs under the direction of Sheriff Van Blarcom, entered and ransacked a property of a well-known Woodstock residence on Friday and ended up arresting him. I'm not going to go further on that because I'm not going to deal with the issue of the case. That's not a right thing to do. What I am here to decry is the fact that in 2 states of this country where marijuana is now legal for recreational use, this town allows itself, because of the complicity of the town board, to be under the jackbooted thugness of urgent and allow these sort of raids. I've been at these town meetings when this town board has accepted checks from Sheriff Van Blarcom and urgent, and I'm sure that will be happening later this year, and I'm sure part of that will be proceedings from whatever they confiscate from their doings Friday. This is absolutely a reprehensible, just moral obscenity, and I'm really ashamed that after my previous pleas that this town board follow the example of Saugerties and of Kingston, much bigger communities that have seen fit to conduct issues regarding drugs and stuff with their own cops rather than leave it up to a gang of county sheriff's deputies that are supposed to be there to enforce gang enforcement and instead are going after our citizens. Supposedly, there were complaints about people coming and going from the residence that is a well-known party house on Tinker Street, one of the last few of them. But yet, those of us who are residents on California Quarry and Chimney Road have complained over a decade about a terrorizing neighbor who does everything from move meets and bounds in order to try to get more property illegally, to disturbing the mountainside with egregious and illegal noise 3 days a week. Nothing's ever been able to be done about that because he's part of the 1%. But no, you get people who are famous people and loved people in this town, and because of the complicity of this town board not withdrawing from urgent, there's a 90-year-old lady here in Woodstock, a very well-known resident, who's currently without her spouse and having to depend on other people to help her, who her spouse responsibly took care of her. And that, too, is because of the negligence of this town board, allowing the supposedly progressive community of Woodstock to be a part of these jackbooted thugs that come in and terrorize our citizens. Get us out of urgent now. Thank you.
Amy Rapp.
Hi, I'm Amy from the library. I just wanted to announce the library budget. The budget vote is September 4th, Thursday, at the library from 12 noon to 9 p.m. There's a very small budget increase this year, a 2% increase in the tax levy, and 2.42% in the total budget. There's information about it on our website, woodstock.org. The absentee ballots are now available for anyone who can't make it on the vote day. And there's nothing in this budget that relates to the annex project or any such like project or for fundraising or anything like that. So I just wanted to be clear about that.
Amy, do you expect a large turnout? Hopefully?
Yes,
Good.
I think we'll have a large turnout. We're very much on the radar this year.
Will you have more than one voting machine?
We do not use voting machines anymore. We're not allowed to use the lever machines. So like last year, we'll be using paper ballots. We
Good.
have
I'm
4.
glad I asked, because I remember the huge line down the street and around the corner.
Well, I hope it's not like that. But we hire 4 election inspectors every year to deal with the whole thing.
Good.
So.
Thank you.
Can you tell us again where the absentee ballots are?
You can get the absentee ballot application, which you have to fill out first. You can get that on our website, or you can get it at the library. And then once that's turned in, we'll give you an absentee ballot to fill out.
And they turn it into you or to the Board of Elections?
To the library. The library district runs its own election.
Just so people understand, it's a little different than the general election where you hand it into the Board of Elections.
Right.
We hand this into you.
Hand it to the library. Yes, we have ballots and we have envelopes that get sealed and all that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, my question. So do you have the Woodstock Times, do you notify the Woodstock Times to vote?
Yes, we have to put the legal notice in. It'll be in this week and the following week.
Thanks.
Well, the question on everybody's mind, Amy, are those paper ballots recyclable?
Compostable.
Good question. We keep them forever and ever.
Oh, okay.
Madam Jordan. So that's it, September 4th, 12 noon to 9 p.m. at the library.
Thanks, Amy.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nancy Butler Ross?
Hello, everyone. I'm Nancy Butler Ross from Bearsville. And first, I'd like to make a public service announcement that hunting season this year on all DEP and DEC land begins on September 1st, with bear hunting season beginning on September 6th and running through September 21st, with hunting from sunrise to sunset. So be careful if you're going into the woods in September. Wear bright clothing, make sure children waiting for school buses don't look like bear, and neighbors near the New York City DEP Yankeetown parcel need to take note, as this is now posted for open for hunting for this year for the first time in many years. Second, on April 14th of this year, DEP's Paul Lenz sent an email stating, quote, "As you will see on the map, there are not a lot of residences along the border of this property." And this, again, is regarding the Yankeetown Pond Acorn Hill parcel. I obtained a copy from the Woodstock Assessor's Office of a map showing not just 42 contiguous neighbors with homes, but many residences near the border of that property. I only made one copy, but if you need, or if anyone would like to look at it, you can see. Actually, you can see there's quite a few homes along that, not just the ones that touch on the property. So please take that into consideration. And then finally, I ask the board members, if you haven't already, please view the tape of the July 2nd public hearing, if you were one of the
With the
members
WEC.
with the WEC that were not there regarding the DEP Yankeetown Pond land. And I also ask that you read the Hudsonia Report's recommendations that are site-specific to this diverse parcel. It is 828 acres, especially the priority and critical habitats in this unique parcel. Please do your homework before accepting the Woodstock Environmental Commission recommendations to open this land. There are several neighbors and outside experts who've been doing a lot of research, who'll be happy to sit down and discuss their findings with you about this land if you have any questions. And also, there are a couple of other people who got here too late to sign up. Do you want to stand up? Anyone who's interested in this for contiguous
No,
neighborhood?
we're already here for shooting. It's not even hunting season.
Yeah.
I don't even know who to call at 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday.
Well,
The
the
police
Woodbury
department.
Sportsman's Club is your neighbor over there, and
Are they allowed to shoot at 10 o'clock at
sure.
night?
Well, they're not hunting, but they're not.
But they're
But they have a-
breaking,
they have a
they're
fire
disturbing the
there.
peace, aren't they? I mean, the town website says that the decibel level should be 57 and a gunshot's a minimum of 140.
Mhm.
So
And
I
Orly,
don't think I can turn up my music at 10 o'clock at night without people complaining.
and Orly has a photograph, if I can just hold it up.
I think the DP is relying on us neighbours to patrol the area because they're not patrolling the area.
This is,
That was taken yesterday.
Hold it up so the camera can get it.
this is, we're regularly seeing people in hunting gear and ATVs, which are not supposed to be allowed. So the burden we're being told is on the private property owners, and we don't really know what to do. So please, it's a very diverse issue. Please take it, maybe you know who that is. Just busted you. Anyway, thank you. Please, if you have any questions, there are many of us here who are willing to.
But he doesn't, he has like a tie-dye shirt on, not hunting gear, is he just driving around up there, or is he hunting?
Right, supposedly.
He's not camouflaged.
Supposedly
Right, it's not-
ATVs, this is a circumneutral bog lake. There's supposed to be a buffer protecting the shoreline, and ATVs are not supposed to be allowed on this property at all. So
This isn't on the DEP property though, is it?
this,
isn't
well, there's, where's
Isn't
the
this on
line?
Pond Road?
That's on Yankeetown Pond.
But that's on
Yes,
private.
this is taken from Pond Road looking up.
Right.
Looking,
He's on the right.
looking at the
Yeah.
pond.
He's on the
Right.
right.
So it's not, so this is not DEP property.
No, it's private.
Private property.
But there are hundreds of signs saying this land is all local.
You should call the police department
Yeah.
and have them come up. That's the first thing you should do, get it on record.
Okay, I've done that with
Yeah.
motorbikes.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
And Joe Nicholson.
Hi, Tom Board. This is along the same lines regarding Yankeetown Pond. It's simply inaccurate to assert, as some have, that those speaking up for mostly hiking or hiking-only designation are a small but vocal band of liberal, elitist, tree-hugging vegans who hate hunting and hunters with a passionate zeal. Many who spoke, yes, Jay?
Could you please read just a tad slow?
I will, and I apologize for having to read this, but it's the most efficient use
Just
of
a
my
tad
time.
slow.
I will. Many who spoke in opposition to hunting, myself included, went out of their way to make it clear that this was not the case, acknowledging that there could be a time and place for reasonably thought out recreational hunting, but that a 9-month period around Yankeetown Pond was not such a case. On the issue of lead, despite its clear mandate to do so, the WEC did not research the relevant issues. It rejected out of hand and without comment scientific studies and other documentation supporting the fact that lead ammunition poses a threat to wildlife and humans. I provided some of the scientific research. They acted as though they had done research and found none to be persuasive. Well, I gave them some research. It was very persuasive, and I'll be happy to provide it to the board. California has banned the use of lead ammunition altogether in a phase-out program, and over 30 other states regulate lead ammunition in some manner. Yet RWEC apparently did not find the issue compelling enough even to address it in some meaningful way. That is not an act of stewardship, that is an act of cowardice. Woodstockers ought to be out front among the thought leaders on this issue and not lagging behind with those who would sooner put their heads in the sand than confront the science. It is not enough to say that since the DEC has taken no action and the DEP has taken no action, then presumably there is no danger. That kind of thinking is what brought us a century of tobacco-related deaths, brought us decades of miscarriages, disfigurements, and cancers from DES and thalidomide, and is now bringing us any number of serious new concerns for our health and welfare from fracking and smart meters.
Joe,
Yes,
you're speeding up.
I am. Responsible stewardship demands that we take such concerns seriously from as early a time as possible. For another example closer to home, I am sure you are only too well aware of just how our failure to take the state's failure to take action can seriously impact our local community when you consider the buried oil tanks sitting atop our aquifers. Looking to the federal and state government for leadership on these issues simply results in a too little, too late outcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
That's it.
Would the town board squeeze one person more than
Oh,
60
sure.
seconds?
Squeeze, squeeze.
Get mine up.
I promise, 60 seconds. Hello, everybody. The word environmental, Merriam-Webster, besides stating that it's basically the natural world, we all know what the quote, normal definition is. But Merriam-Webster's goes a bit further. And I'll leave out the two others and pick my favorite, only because I'm short on time. The second definition is the aggregate. Environmental means the aggregate of social and cultural conditions that influence the life of an individual or community, not just earth, wind, and fire. People. So I would beg you, please, to pay attention to that definition when this comes before you, to make a decision on how your decision is going to affect not just a piece of land, but all of the neighbors, your neighbors, our neighbors, everyone that not just lives on adjacent property, adjoining property, but anyone that lives within a bullet's distance. And that's potential. This is not a fear. I'm not saying people are going to get mowed down, but let's pay attention to that if you can. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time, and thanks for the jumping me in.
The last time I had a conversation with Merriam-Webster, she wasn't into defining words.
You have the defining word.
I almost, the other day, I was at the cornfield, and was it Robert Titus, who writes, is the geologist?
Yes.
And he was talking about the geology of the area. And he asked, so let's all pretend for a moment that, that this is 1,700 years ago, and this is what this place would look like. And I almost piped up and I said, did you talk to Jay about this? But I held my tongue.
I had pledged never to bring that up.
Any announcements from the board? Yes?
The first of the last 6 remaining buried fuel oil tanks over the aquifer is out of the ground.
Yay,
Good work, Jack.
yay.
5 to go.
1 down, 5 to go.
Are you out of money yet?
No, actually, Rutko.
We have enough.
I'm just teasing them.
Oh. It's
Can I be sure you don't have an announcement?
I do have an announcement. First of all, I need to thank this town board for finally renovating the town hall. It's done wonders for not only the people that work there, but for the spirit of the town. It's funny, I just showed a couple of the election inspectors because the community center is going to be under renovation. The voting is going to be taking place at the town hall this year. So I brought them in there and they're just looking around going, this place is unbelievable, because they remembered what it looked like when voting was going on in there. But not only did the renovation allow a great working space, it allowed finally a record space, and that was the one piece of the puzzle that was missing for me to get a grant. So finally, after 11 years, I wrote a grant, they approved it, and I just got work today. So I'm so excited. So we'll see if we can
Thank
get it. So that's exciting.
Couldn't have done it if you didn't post all those legal notices.
What's the grant for?
Records
I'm sorry.
management.
For
records management.
Who is,
I
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
for records management, yeah. Someday you'll see the before and after. You'll be amazed.
Yeah. Well,
The before is not good.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because the custodial department was asking me that same question. They would like to proceed with at least painting, getting the front painted. And the question is, what sort of paint? And so the polling that I've taken so far is recommending a semi-gloss white. Is that an appropriate paint for that surface?
Sounds good to me.
For the outside?
Sounds good to me, but.
For the outside,
I
yeah.
don't know if I'd go semi-gloss or low luster, but.
Low luster, but not flat.
No,
I
No,
don't like
wouldn't be
flat.
flat.
you won't even be able to clean road dirt off
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, semi-gloss would be very shiny.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Very
like the
Well,
cabinets there.
parts of it are somewhat glossy. Is that low luster or?
Eggshell or something?
Well, it's all been primed. It's all been, you know, the building is.
Low luster is somewhere halfway in between.
Yeah, let's go for that.
Low
Alright,
luster.
that's fine.
Low luster
Yeah,
white.
as long as it's not flat.
Okay, with pink coins. Okay. The announcement that I want to make is happy birthday, Joan Schwartzberg.
Happy
Happy birthday, Joan Schwartzberg. This is like the first time her birthday's fallen on a meeting night in I don't know how long. Of course, we never discuss a lady's age. I'll just say that Joan is
How old is
timeless. And, a lot younger than you, Jay. A lot younger. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank Joan for all the help she's given the town over the years with her expertise in many matters, her institutional memory, and just her generous donation of time and effort on behalf of the town. And Joan, I'll take my hat off to you.
Happy birthday.
And the other announcement is the assessor's office will be closed Monday, August 25. The assessor will be off to a schooling he has to take, and I forget what the others, there's something that's keeping the other staff away that day. So if you could put a little note in the paper. On Monday, August 25, the assessor's office will be closed. And the other announcement was, and it's sort of moot now, that there will be no action taken on the last parcel 509 until a meeting in September. And so with that, I'll proceed to the business. Be it resolved to accept minutes for the meeting held on July 15, 2014. Second. All in favor? Aye. Be it resolved to accept the town clerk's report.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Be it resolved to authorize transfers per the transfer sheet.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Be it resolved to authorize payment of audited vouchers in the amount of, now this is going to be different than what you have written there because that late voucher kicked it up. It's now a sum of $216,602.80.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Be it resolved to appoint Patrick Acker permanent recreation director effective July 17, 2014.
Second.
And I just want to say, the reason why he was not the permanent recreation director is because he had to take the civil service test, which he sat for, scored the highest. Thank you, Patrick. Good. Another question? All in favor?
Aye.
Be resolved to authorize the supervisor to enter into an agreement with Munistat to provide annual financial statements required by the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act.
So this is another unfunded.
Just second for the purpose of the
Oh,
discussion.
second.
Yes, I'll give you the.
Second for the
details.
purpose of discussion.
Yes. It used to be when towns went out to bond, that they had to prepare a financial statement. And this was a very carefully constructed document, which had legal connotations. And what I mean is that if the information were shown to be false or fraudulent, it would be very bad for the municipality. So it's a very carefully researched and put together financial document. And it is so that the people who are bidding on your bond know who you are, what your rating is, and just, you know, all the pertinent facts about you. And then you would float the bond and sell the bond, and life would go on. Well, with this reform, the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, the people who issue debt and who continue to hold debt are required every year to file this document. And it's so that, you know, the people who are holding your note, I guess, are kept up to date on your status and who you are and how, you know, safe their money is, et cetera, et cetera. I just want to make clear that this had nothing to do with the town's rating, which is still a superior rating, and has been for the last 3 years at least, if not longer. But it's just, you know, this new legislation out of Congress is going to take effect, in our case, for the year 2015. So Munistat has been the bond advisor for many years, and have prepared these statements for us in the past. And not to give myself any big pat on the back, but you did see there was a voucher in there for $1,500, which I talked them down from $3,500 for the one that they did this year. And also, the annual, they said, well, okay, you know, you've been with us for 30 years, fine, we'll give you a break on the price. So it's going to be $1,500 instead of $2,500. But anyway, but that's what it is. It's unfortunate. It's just, to me, a waste of money, because, you know, if somebody is already holding the note, I mean, I don't know what this new information is going to do for them. But anyway, it's something we have to do. So, all in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Begrudgingly. Okay, so now this is a tentative resolution. Whereas a tree located in front of 45 Tinker Street is dead and poses a threat to property and persons, therefore be it resolved to authorize the property owner to engage an insured professional company to remove the dead tree.
Second.
Now this, you know, we have a law that regulates trees from the intersection of I guess it's Chestnut Hill Road up through, I think it's as far as Spear Road, I can't remember that. But anyway, so before people take down trees, even dead trees, they're supposed to come and ask us. Now, what's unresolved as of now is what, if anything, we're going to replace the tree with. Now, the tree is right under power lines. So if it's going to be replaced by a tree, it's probably going to be replaced by a tree that doesn't grow, you know, so high and tall that it would interfere with the power lines. But it's my understanding that there are some trees that don't grow so tall that they really bush out and will give us some shade in that spot. But it's something that isn't resolved. But I do feel that we should let them remove the dead tree. The limb is going to fall down on somebody, and we'll have a bigger problem on our hands.
Which is 45.
Yeah, which is-
Right in front of Vita Kafka.
Oh.
It's the tree
With the-
somebody in their wisdom
with the
years
bench?
ago girdled
With the
with a
bench.
bench and killed it. Yeah. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Whereas St. Gregory's Episcopal Church recently obtained a special use permit from the planning board, and whereas the church paid the $100 application fee and will pay whatever the building permit fee shall be, and whereas the church in a letter to the town has asked for a waiver of the $99 final development fee and has given the following reasons for its consideration. The tree garden is open to the public for its enjoyment, reflection, and relaxation. The tree's horticultural garden hosts classes for children with special needs who are not necessarily church members. The church hosts cultural events open to the general public, including the Young Artist Concerts featuring Juilliard students and community choirs, which are great events, by the way. The church hosts 3 12-step programs, and they are also, I'm just given to understand, they also host soup kitchen and food pantry for the community. Whereas the above activities are non-secular and a benefit to the community, therefore be resolved to waive the $99 final development fee.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Be it resolved to accept the resignation of Laurel Herdman from the Woodstock Zoning Board of Appeals effective immediately, and be it further resolved to authorize the town clerk to place an advertisement in the official newspaper for a volunteer to fill the vacancy.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Be it resolved to appoint Jay Cohen and Ed Sanders to the Woodstock Tree Committee effective immediately.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And that, folks, is our business. Anything else? Move to adjourn?
Why not?
Favor?
Uh,
Thank you.
We came out for a night of entertainment.
Really? This is gonna be bad. Then it would have been all over, the party would have been all